Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. This is Chair French, and I'm convening the regular business meeting of the Kansas Corporation Commission for this Thursday, November 2nd. I'm joined by my colleagues, Commissioner Dwight Keene and Commissioner Annie Keither. On today's business meeting, we have 24 consent agenda items and 2 noticed items. We will begin first with our consent agenda. Commissioners, you've had the opportunity to review the 24 items on that consent agenda. Let me ask at this time whether you have any questions, and I'll begin with Commissioner Keither.
Not this morning, thank you.
Commissioner Keene. And you are on mute.
Try it again. Good morning. No questions. However, I would note that I am recusing on consent agenda item number 2. And noting that recusal, I would move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, noting Commissioner Keene's recusal on item number 2. Is there any further discussion of that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The consent agenda is approved. We will now move to our 2 noticed items. Our first noticed item is in docket number 24 TRAM 301 PEN, and this is a proposed penalty order in that docket for Precision Underground LLC. And for our presentation on this item, it is Mr. Ahsan Latif. Good morning, Ahsan.
Morning, Commissioners. The penalty order before you arises out of a compliance review of Precision Underground LLC, a common carrier which hauls construction equipment operating out of Overland Park, Kansas. This investigation was conducted by Special Investigator Wade Patterson. After S.I. Patterson conducted his investigation, he reported his findings to our federal counterparts at the FMCSA, and on September 26th, the FMCSA suspended the carrier from intrastate operations after issuing it an unsatisfactory rating. The Commission on October 3rd then suspended the motor carrier from intrastate operations based on the FMCSA's suspension. The penalty order we're discussing today issues civil penalties based on S.I. Patterson's original investigation. The special investigator found 107 violations, and the order before you assesses penalties for 8 specific counts, resulting in $4,650 in total penalties. I'll briefly summarize some of the violations. They include a $1,000 fine for failing to require drivers to prepare a record of duty status, $350 fine for failing to have alcohol and controlled substance testing program in place, $500 fine for failing to have KCC operating authority, as well as a $500 fine for allowing the operation of a CDL required commercial motor vehicle without a driver having a valid CDL. There were additional fines related to UCR fees and not being registered in the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse. In total, staff believes that the order appropriately assesses penalties against the carrier and recommends approval of the order. Both I and staff are available to stand for any questions you have.
Thank you, Ahsan. Let me ask at this time whether there are any questions on this item, and I will begin with Commissioner Keither.
No questions. Just well, it's a lot. Thank you.
And Commissioner Keene.
No questions. Thank you very much, Ahsan, for the overview. It was quite inclusive. Once again, I would commend our Special Investigator Patterson here for the attention to detail and the diligence to his performance of his duties. Having said that, I would move approval of the order.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the order as described in this docket. Is there any further discussion of that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. Thank you, Ahsan. Thank you, staff. We will now move to our second and final noticed item. This is in docket number 24 CONS 3134 CPEN, and it is a proposed penalty order for White Knight Drilling LLC in that docket. Our presenter for this item is Mr. Tristan Kimbrell. Good morning, Tristan.
Hey, thank you. Before you is a penalty order for White Knight Drilling LLC, which did not display a current identification tag on a rig at all times. The rig was involved in a fatal accident on July 25th, 2023, and was displaying an expired tag at the time of that accident. White Knight Drilling also provided inaccurate information to the commission in obtaining a contractor's license and then performed the activities of a contractor under that license. This order assesses a $10,000 penalty. With that, I would recommend approval of the order, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Tristan. Commissioners, you've had the opportunity to review this order, but let me ask at this time whether you have any questions for Tristan, and I will begin again with Commissioner Keither.
No real question with the order itself, except that with being a fatality, is this I don't want to say a normal amount of money for the fine, or I mean, is it typical of what happened, or should it be higher?
Commissioner, I did not believe that the Conservation Division has had an order specifically like this. The amount of the penalty order would be up to the commission.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Keen.
Yes, no questions. I appreciate Commissioner Keither's addressing the subject of the amount of the penalty. It's a fair question to ask under all circumstances, that we would be concerned about the appropriateness of the penalties that we're asked to impose. I personally believe in this circumstance that the penalty is merited. I think basically having really obtained a license using inaccurate information, I'll be charitable, I think is a serious offense here. We rely upon these contractors through this registration process to adhere to all the regs that are applicable to drilling wells in Kansas, and accordingly protecting our freshwater resources. So I do think it's a great question that you asked, Commissioner Keither. My personal view is that I think that the penalty is appropriate under the circumstances. Having said that, I would move approval of the order.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the order as described in this docket. Is there any further discussion of that motion? Hearing none, those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, say no. The order is approved. Thank you, Tristan. With that, we have come to the end of all the items on today's agenda. If there is no further business to come before us this morning, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would move that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Those in favor, please vote aye.
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 Aye. We're adjourned. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.